And now I have the opportunity to introduce you to another one of ours. And we're real proud of him too. I've known this young man for a long, long time. He actually graduated from high school with one of my daughters, and he was married to her for a day. He hates it when I tell the story. Because they had some kind of deal in high school where they had to get married for a day. So he was my son-in-law for a day. So, but he's a wonderful young man. Comes from a fabulous family. He's got good Christian parents and loving siblings, and on top of all that, married into another loving family. Married into a family that spreads all over the place. We don't know how many Barretts there are, but there's a bunch. So I want to introduce to you right now the candidate for the 6th District, someone we need in Frankfort, Monty Collins.
Thanks so much, Sandy. Now the television, I can just see it now. They'll take that one snippet that says he was married to my daughter for one day. I'll begin tonight by saying I have a friend that works at one of the plants out here in Calvert that was talking, thank goodness, in his plant to some of his coworkers and talking about me, trying to tell him a little bit more about me. And the guy said, yeah, I know Monty Collins, and he's a great guy, but he's just so laid back. I mean, does he really have the passion that it takes to go up and make a difference in state government? And I'm here tonight to tell you that I have that passion, and I'm going to prove it to you tonight. So let me start by saying, how many times have you heard from our local Democrat candidates for the state house, for the state senate, say, well, that's a federal issue. We really can't do anything about it on a local level. Or that's a court issue, and don't talk about abortion. That's something that we can't affect on a local level. Do you know where those comments come from? I believe they come from Democratic strategists, political strategists that get in the ear of these local candidates. There's really no need for us to discuss immigration in Kentucky. That's a federal issue, and we're not a border state anyway. Okay. Abortion is a federal issue, and for that matter, it's an issue for the Supreme Court to handle, not the Kentucky legislature. I think they've actually been told this so many times in the past that they may even believe it by now. Or at least they're going to make you think that they believe it. Immigration is not just an issue on the federal level anymore, and it does affect more than just border states. I read a few statistics from a nonprofit organization called FAIR that are simply staggering to me. The annual fiscal cost to Kentucky taxpayers for emergency medical care, for education, incarceration resulting in amnesty, or if amnesty is adopted for illegal residents, for 2010 would be an estimated $117 million. And then on into 2020, it's projected could be up to $207 million. And we already have had to make tough decisions. Thank goodness for our state senate and what they did, standing up to that budget that passed through from the Democratic leadership in the House. But we've had to make tough decisions in this state. Where to cut costs because of the budget deficit that we already have. Can you imagine adding another $100 to $200 million to that deficit, and then you tell me if you believe it's just a federal issue? It's not. It is a state issue. It's not an easy subject to broach in an election year. And that's why Harry Reid has put it on the back burner in the United States Senate, but it is why you don't hear the current Speaker of the House as well in our state, in Kentucky, Greg Stumbo, or my opponent, making a position statement about illegal immigration and whether or not they would support the same legislation that went through Arizona. The current state House of Representatives, if you don't know, is made up of 65 Democrats and 35 Republicans. The governor is a Democrat, as we well know, who will be running for re-election in 2011. Our Attorney General is the Democratic nominee for the United States Senate in Kentucky. Is there anyone who believes in this room, honestly believes, that a bill that mirrors that passed in Arizona would make it out of committee and onto the House floor in the state of Kentucky? No. No way. Let me tell you the only way that is going to happen in my eyes. We need a lame duck Attorney General. Lame duck? Yeah, okay. Lame and lame, okay. A state house where Jeff Hoover is the Speaker of the House and not Greg Stumbo. Keep the leadership that we have in the state Senate and keep it Republican, and have a governor who sees all of that combined and all of those scenarios and runs as fast as he can to the middle. That's what we need, and the only way that you can help do all of these is by electing Rand Paul to the United States Senate, our Congressman Ed Whitfield to the House, and electing conservative Republicans such as me to the state Kentucky House. In closing, I think you can tell what is important to a candidate by the way he or she votes. My opponent, Will Coursey, physically walked out of the chamber in 2008 instead of voting on an action to send the ultrasound bill out of committee and onto the House floor. He voted for the initial budget in the House this year in 2010, which would have raised taxes, and yes, we will not be fooled, it would have raised taxes somewhere in the neighborhood of $300 million on small business owners and farmers. He voted on expanded gambling in the 2009 special session. He voted in 2008 for mandatory HPV vaccinations for preteen girls. I guess we know what issues are important to him. More taxes, the expansion of gambling, and anti-family value issues. The people of the 6th District are conservative, and in 2010, the people of the 6th District will prove it and can prove it by their actions. And I ask you tonight to prove it on November the 2nd by sending me, Monty Collins, to represent the 6th District in the State House of Representatives. Thank you.